Hi everyone, I'm Delilah Baldwin. Today we're going to be trying Sally's baking everything Snickers cupcakes. Let's see how they are, shall we? First we'll start with our dry ingredients. So we have our flour, cocoa powder, baking soda and baking powder, and our salt, which is also with baking powder and baking soda. And just because I like it smooth, I'm going to go ahead and sift it. Wash it out. And we already have that done. So we'll just give a little mix to get everything well incorporated. And we set that off to the side. And then we'll go ahead and start on our wet ingredients. So we'll start with our oil. Make sure you get all of it. Sugar. Our 1 egg. Our vanilla. And our butter. We have all of that, so we can go ahead and start mixing. Alright, that's all mixed in. So now we can then add our coffee. She said you can use coffee with that. I just want to go ahead and add a real good deep coffee flavor that helps bring out the chocolate. And then we'll mix that. And then we'll mix in our wet ingredients to our jar. So let's grab the dry ingredients. Mix them together. Just because a lot of cakes are sensitive, go ahead and fold it up. And then if you're good at folding, you can mix, start out with whisk, and then go into just because there's a lot of flour and dry ingredients. You start mixing it in, and then once you see the size of it, then you have a little bit left. Just go ahead and finish with folding in everything so you're not over mixing. And once you don't see any dry clumps or anything, is when you can start pouring it into your liners. So went ahead and sprayed our liners. And because the recipe says it makes about 15, but I have a mini cake pan, so I just use a cake liner that has 12 and do the rest in the small to make it tangy. Here you go, and your batter will be finished. You can set that in for notes. So I'll take a scoop and line everything. And like I said, if you're not the biggest coffee person, you won't really taste it. It just helps deepen that flavor. But if you wouldn't like to add it at all, or you have too allergy, you can just use it out. And there's a lot of substitutes for those types. cakes in, and then I'll just keep it aside to fill out our cakes. So we're just gonna give it a few taps. Try to get all those bubbles. I'll put it in the oven. We'll check out and see how it is in a couple minutes. Alright, while the cupcakes are baking, we'll go ahead and make our butter. First, we can start by heating our butter. Alright, butter's all beat. Gonna add peanut butter. If we want to mix that line, and it is. You see how soft it's gotten, especially with the peanut butter that's already really oily and butter. And then we can go ahead and mix in our confectioner sugar, which I want to go ahead and sift that up. See if I can go ahead and get all those things bumps out of there. Alrighty. Then we can add in salt, vanilla, and for this, it's actually since it has confectioner sugar in it. No, once it's combined. Right? Just give it that one final mix to get anything that's on the sides. And our buttercream. Our peanut butter buttercream is all fit. So we can throw this in the fridge while we're waiting on our cupcakes to finish baking in full. Alrighty, my cupcakes are all cooled and I went ahead and filled it with our caramel. So just make sure it's not hot or it will be very messy. So you can either poke holes and then put the caramel in, or carve it out cone shape, put the caramel in and put it on top. And then there are two ways you can frost it. She says you can either use a cookie scooper, but I also like doing a piping bag. It all depends on how big of a cookie scooper you have. So we're gonna just go in, fill it in. Once you have it filled in, you're going to take up your chopped Snickers, place them on top. I just like to do a good couple. To cover it, and then I had some residual caramel left over, so I'll just take a little fork and drizzle it. Which I will be taking these to a local gym that I know their workers really like sweet treats. But just in case, so it's not too much caramel, I'm just going to be putting a little bit on top, just in case no one really is the biggest fan of caramel. Alrighty. And the cupcakes look just like how she said they would. So I would believe that the cupcake is a success. And I tasted my mini cake, and the cake tastes great. Buttercream tastes great. So I would say the recipe is a 10 out of 10. Let me know if you guys want anything similar to that, or if you have any suggestions. Bye.